Tonight, it's a story of friendship made in a way that you just don't hear about very often.
That's right. It's a mix of the past and present and a message that took 2 decades to be delivered. Here's a story out of Madeline Island.
Maybe you've seen this before, a wave on Facebook. It's not much to make you think twice, except this particular wave was a response to a much older message. Only the recipient, Emily Calesi, wouldn't know it at the time. It's a story of an unusual bond between strangers, created all thanks to Lake Superior. For Charles Nelson, it started back in October when a storm sent massive waves crashing onto the Madeline Island shore, taking out docks and beaches in the process. The next day, while on a search for driftwood, he found something else.
I found this bottle immediately, and I just thought it was garbage. I picked it up, thought it was garbage on the beach, and then I noticed it was full of water, so I drained it out.
It didn't take long to realize it wasn't an average bottle. There was something inside.
Dear Finder, I just thought I'd try and see where this letter goes. My name is Emily. I'm a 15-year-old girl from Minnetonka, Minnesota. If anyone finds this, please write to me. And then I noticed on the date it was 1995.
First, the question of how.
Where could it have been safely? Through, when you think about it, 22 winters, the ice heaving, how could it last for 22 years? And the message is just like the day she wrote it.
Then the search to write back to Emily. It wasn't easy. She'd moved from the address listed on the letter back in the 90s. So the search took off in a place that wasn't even created until well after that note was written.
My friend actually ended up going to the same high school that she did. So she was an alumni, so she went onto the high school records and found her and said, here, this is her, and sent me an email with her picture, with her husband and her little boy on Facebook.
And then came that wave.
So I messaged her and waved, and she waved back, and I said, I think you need to call me. I have something of yours.
They talked on the phone and agreed. A meeting needed to happen so Emily could get her note back.
Dear Finder, I just thought I'd try this and see where my letter goes. You know, I think back then, I probably was really hoping that some nice stud high school boy was going to find it and call me up and whisk me away to prom or something.
Prom is no longer on Emily's mind. She has graduated college, started a career, gotten married, and had her first child. All parts of her life that she's lived since the day she threw this bottle into the lake on an annual sailing trip near Madeline Island.
A couple of us on these early trips thought this would be a fun idea to see if anything came back. And so that's the piece that I really remember, is tossing that out and just thinking we were so adventurous.
Now she says it's her own personal time capsule.
I didn't have an email address. That's crazy to think that 22 years ago I didn't have an email that I could put in here. I had to put a physical address.
But the timing of the response makes it all the more unexpected, because after a yearly tradition of sailing trips on Madeline Island.
Last year, my dad and I actually decided that after 25 years, we were needing to stop going on this trip just due to age and our family situations.
It's as if the lake knew it was time to finally find a recipient for the message she left so long ago.
It's kind of like the trip that keeps on giving.
And Charles says he feels the lake was trying to tell him something too.
You could walk past it and not even know it. And like I did, I could have, if I didn't care about the garbage, I wouldn't have even picked it up. I wouldn't have known. So it's like the lake was thanking me for picking up garbage.
Well, Charles and Emily plan to stay in touch, and Emily also wants people to know that she's sorry for littering in the lake. She was only 15 years old, after all. In case anyone wants to say, don't throw plastic into the lake, she said she's not going to do that anymore.
That is so funny. That is so funny, because that's what was going through my head. Not in a bad way, of course. But I was just like, wow, that just shows how plastic can stay sturdy.
I know, just a little water bottle.
Yeah.
And preserved the note.
Really cool.